we'll jump into like questions. So quick introductions. I'm Cam Eaton. So I am the one that sends you all the wonderful emails that you get, or you might not like me because I send you too many, but I'm the communications and events director for the graduate school. So I help coordinate commencement, as well as a bunch of other stuff. But you'll be hearing a lot from me over the next couple months leading up to the commencement ceremony. We also have Danielle, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Danielle Maynard. I am the outgoing Plan 1 student coordinator. I'm here to talk to you guys about any of you that are writing a thesis or dissertation. I'm just going to talk about your final requirements and how to wrap those things up.
Okay, and then we also have Jasmine Jean. Jasmine.
Hello, everyone. As Kim stated, I'm Jasmine Jean, and I'm the Educational Services Coordinator, and I will be discussing with you your application for degree, diplomas, and those types of things.
Okay, so what we'll do first is we're going to just start right away with Jasmine. She'll kind of go over some information. We will have like a brief area for questions that are specific to the application for degree process, and then we'll jump over to Danielle. We'll have a few moments for questions after that, and then I will talk more specifically about the commencement ceremony itself, and then we'll leave it open for questions at the end for everybody. Also, keep in mind, any School of Nursing students who are getting DNPs or masters, your process for application for degree is slightly different. So don't necessarily listen to what Jasmine's saying for this first portion. But if you want to stay on at the end, we will have time to answer questions specifically about nursing students. So if y'all want to do that at the end, we will have time for that as well. So we'll just go ahead and get started, Jasmine.
All right, so thank you all for attending again, and we're going to start off talking about your application for a degree. You are on here because you are a prospective summer 22 graduate, and so one of the first things that you want to do is submit your application for a degree. That is done in BlazerNet under the Links and Forms tab. You simply do the GR apply for degree, complete that to the best of your ability, and then once submitted, you will get a confirmation email. That confirmation email just signifies that your application has been received by your program and myself, and then from there, your application goes through a series of approvals. So it takes time for your application to get approved by the various individuals that are in that workflow. So once you get that confirmation email, there's really no action for you at that point. The main thing that you want to do is to pay your application fee. It is $60 for those of you earning a master's or doctoral degree, and $20 for those of you earning a certificate. Now, if you're earning more than one, of course, those fees will compound. So you just want to make sure that you do pay those once it is posted to your account. It is very important that all balances are cleared before the end of the term so that there's no delay in you receiving your diploma. With the application for a degree, Kim already mentioned, for those of you that are MSN or DNP students, there's a slightly different process for you through the School of Nursing and the registrar's office. But for those of you that are a PhD in nursing, those do come to me. So PhDs in nursing, and then all other master's and doctoral degrees do go through me. So that is the application for degree process. Once that is approved, and we go through that, at the end of the term, I go back through and award you all's degrees. That is a very extensive process as well, because I'm one and I'm looking at approximately 1,000 people. And so with that, a lot of people think that their diplomas are coming immediately after commencement or during commencement. And I just want to let you know that there's a 6 to 8 week time frame that you will receive your diploma or certificate after the day that grades are released. The commencement exercise, grades are actually not released at that particular point, so awarding cannot go at that particular time. Grades are normally released about a week after commencement, so there's already a week there that's kind of, set in stone. But once grades are released, I do begin awarding. Once awarding, the thing that you can do is to check your transcript, see if your degree has been awarded. I ask that students do not continually reach out saying, when is my degree going to be awarded, that kind of thing, because it just slows down my process, to be completely honest. I am very responsive during 2 emails, but during that time, I close my emails for several spells during the day so that I can focus on awarding. But I promise you, I will get to you. So that is pretty much my process from the application piece on to the end, as far as ordering diplomas and getting those shipped to you. Any questions for me? Our deadline is June 13th, so that's next Monday. So please do make sure that if you have not submitted your application for a degree at this point, that you do that between now and next Monday. That is a hard deadline. So anything after that will not be accepted. You'll have to apply for the next term, which will be fall 22.
I do have a question.
Sure.
I'm getting an occupational therapy doctorate, and I'm also getting the graduate certificate in low vision. I did the application for the occupational therapy doctorate degree, and I received the confirmation for that. Mm-hmm. However, when I had to apply separately for the graduate certificate in low vision, the system would not let me apply for that certificate. It kept saying not eligible, I think something like that.
Yes, very good question. So that means that the low vision certificate is not a part of your curriculum. And so what we'll need to do is look at that just to confirm. I will take note of your name, and what I'll do is I will follow up with you via email to let you know. And then also too, are you under Dr. Tucker's advisement?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I will copy her on that as well, so that she's aware. So low vision.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions?
Question for Jasmine.
Yes.
Yeah, so usually you said it takes 6 to 8 weeks after awarding the degree on the BlazerNet, and then the certificate will be shipped. But during that time, I'll be getting back to my country. So is there a possibility that you can send that internationally, or should I just put an address for a friend? What's the best way that you recommend?
Sure, great question. We do ship diplomas internationally. So when you complete your application for a degree, you can list that address that you want it delivered to on there. If you have already completed it and you need to update that address, we do have a change of diploma address form on our website, and I'll drop that link in just a second, where you can update that address to have it shipped to a different address than what you previously listed. So I will also, after the deadline, I will be communicating with everyone that has an AFD on file, or application for a degree on file, and I will request that you send in that change of diploma mailing address form by a certain date. And so that's your time to update that address if need be.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, with international shipping, just FYI, we do need a phone number because when they ship to those addresses, they like to contact the person. So please do list that on your change of diploma mailing address form should you decide to go that route, because it will be requested.
Hey, Jasmine, there are a few questions in the chat too.
Changing screens here. For Jerry, as far as confirming that your application has been received, one, the confirmation email. Now, if you're MSN or DNP, I think y'all get one. But if you are not MSN or DNP, then you should have a confirmation email. Other than that, what you can do is log into BlazerNet, go to links and forms in the graduate application for degree certificate, click on that, and then it should show that you have already completed it. DNP, Their conferral timeline for DNP is the same as ours. I actually aligned mine with theirs, so we are on the same timeline, to my knowledge. And for Michaela, if you're wanting to change your name on your diploma, you can submit that same form, the mailing address form, or you can just shoot me an email and I'll drop my email here to have your name updated on your application, or well, on your application, but that's also what's going to be reflected on your diploma. For the thesis title, that is on the application for degree. Danielle is going to cover that shortly, but I'm not sure. Danielle, I'll leave that one for you as far as how that can be updated.
And I actually responded in the chat. So it's
Okay, perfect. Okay. You do not have to apply separately for your diploma. Once your application for degree is on file and approved, that is for your diploma. Okay, MSN got the confirmation.
And also, anybody asking questions about the actual commencement ceremony and that process, we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yes. For the Abby, for the degree cost, it should be immediate as far as when it posts. So that $60 fee or $20 fee, or, you know, again, if you're applying for more than one, that should automatically post to your account. I think I lost where I was. Earmark payments for the application. No, you can just check your student account, your balance, and then just go and pay. For IGS, I'll reach out to you about that, Christy.
Okay, so we're going to actually move on to Danielle. Jasmine, if you can keep looking at those and then potentially just respond to them in the chat. Danielle, if you want to go ahead and get started with your portion.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so thanks again for everyone who made it to our Q&A today. The information I'm going to discuss just real briefly is only for Plan 1 students. So Plan 1 students are those who are writing a thesis or dissertation. So if you're not writing a thesis or you're not writing a dissertation, the next few minutes don't apply to you. So for Plan 1 students, all of you guys have probably corresponded with me throughout this process. So congratulations, you finally made it to your last semester. First and foremost, be sure you already have your AFD in. We need those in before the deadline. So step 1, get your AFD in. Jasmine already covered it, but again, just really important. Step 2, you're going to be focusing on your defense this semester. We're going to need you to submit your request for approval form as soon as you know when and where your defense is going to take place. This needs to be turned in at least 2 weeks before your public defense, but you can turn it in as early as possible. So as soon as you know when and where, go ahead and put that in there. The request for approval form is linked on the Plan 1 student page. I'm going to put that in the chat real quick. There's also a few more links that are going to be really helpful on that page. This request for approval form allows us to send out your approval form to your entire committee on the day of your defense, which is very important. It's basically your pass or fail for your defense. So it's really important for that. Also, it allows us to publish it on the graduate school calendar, and that's what technically makes it a public defense. So be sure to get that in ASAP. The second major resource that is on the Plan 1 page for anyone that's going to be defending this semester is the format manual. The format manual is what we're going to use to actually review your thesis or dissertation. So go ahead and take a look at that, compare it to your document, and make sure that the formatting is looking correct. Every semester, there's a few students that have to go back and forth multiple times as far as with revisions. This is time consuming for you, it's time consuming for us, and it also can delay your degree being awarded. So go ahead and just do a quick comparison of the format manual to your transcript and just our manuscript, and just make sure that they align, make sure they look alike. There are two requirements that are both for master's and for doctoral, and that would be your approval form, which gets signed by your entire committee. It's not that requirement isn't complete until everyone signed it and it's turned in. That's another reason the request for approval form is so important. The second one would be acceptance into Proquest. It's not just submission into Proquest. Submitting to Proquest means you turned in your document. That doesn't mean that it's been accepted. That's where the revision process comes in. Be sure whenever you turn in your submission to Proquest that you're submitting an email that you're going to keep an eye on. I would suggest using your UAB email. That's just where all your academic stuff is coming to. Just use that. We have students every semester that will use like their Yahoo or Gmail, and they're not expecting an email regarding their submission to come there. But whatever email you put in is where your revisions are going to go. As soon as you receive an email with any revisions from Proquest, get those revised and turned in as quickly as possible. Again, if you wait and you don't do these revisions, that could delay your degree being awarded. Get those turned in. So once all of your revisions are complete, then it will be accepted. If it's reviewed and everything looks correct, it'll be accepted. That's the second requirement that is for everyone. There's a third requirement that is required for doctoral, but is optional for master's. That's going to be the grad exit survey. You're going to receive an email when your approval form comes back to you, and that email is going to have the grad exit survey. The fourth one, which is only a requirement for doctoral students, is the survey of earned doctorates, and you're also going to receive that link when you receive your approval form. Be sure that you're completing all of your requirements. These will be listed on your GPS. They will not be checked off until your degree is awarded. So just keep an eye on it and know what you have submitted and what you've done. You should receive correspondence back from us with anything that we're going to process, and you should know whether you did the surveys or not. So those will be checked off when your degree is awarded. So even though you've already got those done, when Jasmine goes through and awards your degree, she will manually check those off. Let's see. Letters of pending degree. If you complete all of your requirements prior to your degree being awarded, we can provide you, or prior to commencement, we can provide you with a letter of pending degree. Only between the time of you completing your requirements and commencement. Once commencement is over, at that point, we're looking to award your degree, and you're going to have to just wait until it's awarded and get a physical transcript or official transcript once it's been awarded. So if you're going to need some type of documentation for a pending job offer or something like that, just stating that you have completed all your requirements, be sure to get your requirements done quickly. So that we can go ahead and provide you with that documentation. We will not be providing it after commencement. I think that is it as far as Plan 1 student stuff. Be sure to look at the Plan 1 student page. And of course, if you have any questions, you can email Jessie Kepley or the graduate school inbox.
Okay, does anybody have any questions specifically for Danielle?
Hi, Danielle. I think you and I have been exchanging lots of emails in the past week. So I submitted my dissertation to Proquest. I think it was on Monday, I guess, Monday night. So I just want to know whether you guys received some sort of update that was submitted, and if I need to do revisions, how long would it take the system to get back to me?
Okay, so Proquest submissions are reviewed individually. So someone actually has to, it's not automated, someone actually has to go in there and take a look at your document and review it. Typically at this point in the semester, it's done about once a week. So I would say sometime this week, between 3 and 5 days, you would get a list of revisions back. That list of revisions is going to come to whatever email you put in whenever you submit it to Proquest. And it'll have just all of those done, and it'll also have a link to resubmit once the revisions are done. There's not a time limit right now to get those revisions done, but you just need to do it ASAP if you're needing documentation or just to say you're done. What was your name real quick?
Alejandra.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So yours has been submitted and is pending review.
Okay, thank you. And then the certification for pending degree. Do I have to submit some sort of form or request it somewhere if I wanted the certification of pending degree?
So are you talking about like a letter of pending degree just to show that you've completed all of your requirements?
Yes.
Okay, so once you complete all of your requirements, just reach out to Jasmine Jean. She's on this, and she'll be able to get you one of those letters. But don't, every semester students kind of rely on us to know when they're done with their requirements. But of course, we're handling all of the students that are graduating this semester. So just be sure to keep track of when you've received your approval form, when you've completed. You'll get an email whenever your Proquest submission has been accepted. So whenever you get that email, and if you have to do the 2 surveys when you're done with those, and just reach out to Jasmine. She'll confirm obviously that you've done all of your requirements, but then she can provide you with that letter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question, Danielle. I'm not sure if you are the one who can answer that. So in the GPS, there are some things that we already finished, but it's not updated on the GPS. I'm not sure if do we need to contact someone for that.
Are these Plan 1 requirements that you're talking about?
Yes, but
Okay,
there are
so-
seminar
yeah.
classes, stuff with that, like the proposal defense. It's not checked within the GPS, but we've done that a while ago.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, those are checked off manually and they're not checked off as they get done. We have a running list here that we keep track of what students are missing, what requirements. When Jasmine goes to award your degree, she's going to look and be sure that you've completed those requirements. So it's kind of up to you to just be sure that you're completing them. However, we also do have a list that says you have completed them. And when we go to award your degree, we will manually check those off.
Okay, so there's nothing that we should do from our end, right?
If your degree, like you should be getting emails as you complete things, as things are done. So yes, as long as you know that you're completing those requirements, then there's nothing else for you to do.
Okay, thank you.
Also, I think someone else listed in here about a title change. That was the second question. So you are given two opportunities to put your title. So if you have your title is, you have an option to do it on your AFD. Again, get those in as soon as possible. If you think that your title may change, do not put it on your AFD. If you think your title changed, do not list it there. The second opportunity, your title should be finalized at this point. But your second opportunity would be whenever you turned in your request for approval form. This should be no later than 2 weeks before your defense. At this point, your title should be final. You can put your official title there. If for any reason your title changes after that point, if your title changes after you turned in documentation saying this is my official title, then from there you would either need to contact Jesse Kepley or the graduate school, and we can make a note of that change. Do not list your title on your AFD if you think it's going to change. Do we have any other Plan 1 questions?
Yes, in the case of the submission to Proquest, like is that going to are the revisions for that, are they going to be due by time for the defense, or are they going to be due by like the time for commencement?
So you should not turn your document into Proquest until after your defense. Once you have official approval from your entire committee, which is the approval form, at that point, that's when you're going to submit to Proquest. That they will all be reviewed at some point before commencement. Like I said, typically 3 to 5 business days. However, everyone is also defending, majority of people defend closer to the end of the semester, closer to graduation. So just keep that in mind, that the closer you defend to the deadline or the defense deadline, there's going to be more coming in. It may take a little bit longer. It's also very important to just get your revisions in as soon as possible, because, you know, you can imagine that everyone else across campus is also doing their revisions at the same time, defending at the same time, and getting those forms in. So there is a line. You want to be sure to get your stuff back in the queue for review ASAP. Okay, any other questions regarding Plan 1 information?
Someone had their hand up. I think they took it down though.
Okay. All right, again, all of this information is listed on the Plan 1 student page. I just suggest that you take a look at that, not only for your final requirements, but also just to see the format manual and other resources that we have there. If you guys have any other Plan 1 questions, again, just reach out to the grad school inbox or Jesse Kepley. Thanks, Kim.
Okay, so when you get all your paperwork submitted and everything's done, then you get to actually participate in the commencement ceremony. Woohoo! So I know y'all are excited about that. We don't have a ton of specifics just yet. Those usually come as we get further along into the semester, but some basic information. Commencement ceremony for graduate students is going to be August the 12th, which is a Friday night. The ceremony actually starts at 6 p.m. It's at Bartow Arena. So doors open an hour before. Now that's an hour before for guests, for students, for faculty. So it's basically doors are going to open at 5 o'clock. If you are planning to participate in commencement, you will want to be there at 5 o'clock or shortly thereafter. And I will tell you, if you are on campus and you've ever been in downtown Birmingham at 5 o'clock on a Friday night, you're going to know it's a little crazy. So kind of keep that in mind when you're planning your commute, trying to get to Bartow. Do not wait until like 5:30 and think you're going to have plenty of time to come down and get there before you have to walk out into the arena. So that's something that we always end up having some issues with. But yeah, so that's going to be commencement. Now, you are going to actually have to submit an Rsvp if you want to participate in the ceremony. Now, this is different from the application for degree. That link is actually going to be available here, just a second. It's going to be on the commencement website. Now, it's not up yet, so don't go run into that website, try to fill it out because there's nothing there. I was told that hopefully it'll be up and ready by June 15th. So kind of keep an eye on that commencement website. I would recommend like bookmarking it so you can kind of just keep up with it, because there's a lot of information. Probably any question you have is going to be able to, like, you're going to find it there. So you'll need to fill out an Rsvp to participate in commencement ceremony. The one thing you definitely need to do, and you can do that now if you know you are going to graduate this summer and you're going to be in the ceremony. Here, let me post this really quick. You need to order Regalia. So, okay, so this is actually open now. You can go ahead and order Regalia now. Now, if you are masters, it will be shipping to your house. If you are a PhD, you'll be in your renting, it's going to ship to the bookstore and you'll be able to pick it up from the bookstore. I think they said about August 5th or after. So you definitely want to get these ordered. The deadline to order Regalia is the end of June. So June 30th is the deadline to order Regalia. If you would like custom Regalia, for specifically like the PhD students, if you want to order custom Regalia, let me know, because that's a different website. And that deadline is like June 17th. So that's coming up like next week. But that takes a lot longer to actually get to you, and that will ship to your home if you want to order the actual custom Regalia. So again, if you want that, let me know and I can send you the separate link for that. Other than that, that's basically the gist of it right now. That's the specific information I have is the Regalia order, and it's the commencement participation form. So I will communicate with you a ton over the summer. We will have a couple more of these virtual Q&As as we get closer to the actual commencement ceremony, and we'll go specifically into details about what will happen the night of. There is no difference. There is no limit on guests, but when you actually fill out the Rsvp, it'll ask you how many guests you're planning on bringing. That's just to give us an idea. There is handicap accessible. So if you have somebody that needs special assistance, just send an email over so we can get them forwarded to the right, we can get that forwarded to the right people. Difference between custom Regalia. So custom Regalia, I don't recommend it, you're purchasing it. So I think it's like $1,000. So there's a quite a big cost to it. And really, the primary reason you would do that is if you are going into academia and you would need it for, you mentor students and you need to hood them later. So that's really the primary reason people usually order the custom Regalia. So that's Eric. Okay. Any other questions about the commencement ceremony? Hey, Jasmine, do you see this question? Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I had gotten an email that, so I went ahead and I applied for applied for my degree and everything, and I got the confirmation. But then the original email I had said you had like 3 steps. The first one was to do that. And then once you see the $60 like hit your account and then you pay for it, then you can apply for RSVPing and the rest of the stuff. So is that true, or?
Do you know that, Jasmine?
Oh, I have no idea. Unless they've changed those steps, I just always have encouraged students to pay as soon as it hits. But I hope that's true, because that will help with on the back end for students, just making sure that you all receive your degrees on time.
Yeah, and also keep in mind the registration fee that you're paying, the graduation fee, that's not for commencement. So there's not like a separate fee that you're paying for commencement. That $60 is covering like the cost of your degree. It's covering all of that part of it. So it's not anything to do with the commencement ceremony itself. So you're going to pay that $60 regardless of whether you come to the commencement ceremony. There's a lot of confusion around that too. So yeah, just know that you're going to pay the $60 period. And then any difference between the commencement ceremony for DNP students? No. So the commencement ceremony is for all graduate students. And so basically what will happen, it's in alphabetical order. So it goes by schools. So what, Cass would be first? Yeah. So you would start off. So all of the doctoral students who are being hooded within like Cass will go first and they're hooded. And then you have all the master's students that will come after them. And then I'll go to the next school, which I think is business. And of course, there's no PhD students with business. So it's just all the master's students with business. So it goes in alphabetical order by schools, but the PhD students or the DNP students will be in the front, and then the masters will be after those. So the hooding will always take place first, followed by the masters, and then the next school. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah, I was going to say the follow-up, I pulled the email up. It said, you may register to attend the commencement ceremony at the site, which is that commencement UAB thing, after the application deadline has passed, after you have submitted the application, and after your $60 graduation fee has been posted and paid.
Okay.
So is
Awesome.
that, I guess that's I got to wait for all that. So after June 13th, I think is when it was saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so after our AFD deadline, which is June 13th, and then just ensure that you have paid that. If you don't mind, Adam, can you forward me that email?
Yeah.
I'm dropping my email again because I know it's probably lost in the chat, but that's good to know.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And that probably will be, because I know sometimes students will go in and try to RSVP to attend the ceremony and it won't let them. It says they're ineligible. So that might actually be one of the reasons they're ineligible, because their $60 hasn't posted yet. So yeah, so that makes sense. But okay, any other questions? So grad students do not apply to walk until after.
And that just brings me to the point, I think you may have already said it, Kim, but your application for degree is driving all of the communication that you're receiving thereafter up until commencement. So I pull that list, I give it to Kim, and that's how you find out information about commencement, what's going on, Regalia, that type of thing. So it's very important that your application for degree is submitted before or by June 13th. Very, very important. Or else you will not receive those communications, and then you may wonder why, and that's because you have not applied. We've had that occur. And just as a reminder, June 13th is a hard deadline, so we want to make sure that between then and now, now and then, that you get your application in.
Okay. Okay. MBS. So you're going to choose College of Arts and Sciences and the Master of Science degree as a subdegree. Okay. Any other questions about the commencement ceremony or anything about Regalia? So again,
Suzanne asked a question about December. Suzanne, you can go to the academic calendars to see the date of the fall commencement.
yeah, and I would bet it's going to be probably December 9th and 10th. I mean, don't quote me on that. But yeah, that usually is about the time that they have it. So again, first order of business, if you are participating in the ceremony, order Regalia, and you need to do that probably now so you don't forget. And that deadline is June 30th. So make sure you get that order in because you're out of luck after that. And then second order, make sure you go in and you actually RSVP to attend the commencement ceremony. That will be set up hopefully by the middle of June. So I was told June 15th. So just kind of keep checking that commencement website. It'll be right there on the front. There'll be a big button that says RSVP to walk. So just keep checking that. Also, just so you're aware, I actually am having surgery next week. And so I'm going to be out of commission for a little bit. So if you don't start getting emails from me, like right after that June 13th, application for degree deadline, do not panic. I'll probably be out for like a week or two, and then I'll be back and I'll start sending a lot more communication out about just commencement and everything else.
I have a question. For the doctoral regalia, is the only two options to rent or to buy the custom set? Or there's the two options?
You can rent the PhD regalia or you can order custom regalia. Is that what you're asking, Heather?
Yes, I wasn't expecting that price tag, so I just wanted to make sure those were the only two options. Thank you.
Yeah, the rental shouldn't be as high. Now the custom is very high, but the rental I think is like 100. I mean, like between 100 and 150, I think, to rent. Okay. Sorry.
I have a question.
Yes.
A lot of people sell their previous regalia. Is that like taboo? Does it change, or can you purchase that from somebody else privately and wear it?
Oh goodness, hold on. That might be something I need to actually check on. So now I know the color of the gown doesn't technically change. You want to make sure that your hood is going to be the correct color for your school and your program. So, can you email me? Was that Noelle? Is that who said that?
Yes, that was me. Yes, I can email you.
Yeah. So here, I'll put my email in. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, send me a quick email and I'll check to make sure, and then I'll let you know. Okay, and I know there's more questions in the chat, so hold on. I'm trying to there's a lot coming in. So if y'all want to just unmute and ask, please do so, because I think I'm missing some.
Hey,
Also,
Kimberly, it's Michaela.
Hi.
I must have missed something, but are we already supposed to be getting our cap and gown and our hooding and all that stuff ordered? I thought that came after the application on the 13th.
No, yes, you can submit your AFD on the 13th, but if you are going to participate in the summer commencement ceremony, you need to make sure you have your cap and gown ordered. The deadline for that is June 30th. So it comes really quickly. So definitely make sure you don't miss that deadline.
And where can I find information of what exactly I need to order for my specialty? And so I'm a DNP specializing in NNP. How do I figure out exactly where do I go to figure out what to order and how to order it?
Okay, so there's a link for the actual regalia. So if you go to that and you click on, give me a second. If you click on your rental package, doctoral, and then you should just be able to pick Doctor of Nursing Practice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then I don't know if there's going to be something specific for that. That might be something that we have to actually check with the bookstore. So if you want to send me an email and let me know specifically what your specialty is, then I can email the bookstore and find out if there's anything in particular that you need to have.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
And I just wanted to chime in on what Adam was talking about earlier. And thank you, Adam, again for forwarding that email. That was from the School of Nursing. So I just want to re-emphasize that DNP and MSN students, I hate to kind of group y'all together, but it's actually a different process. You all do not flow through our office as far as your degrees are concerned. So that communication that Adam was referring to as far as the steps to registering for commencement and those different things, that applies to the MSN and DNP students, School of Nursing students.
So I just wanted to clarify for the graduate school, if we have submitted our application for degree and had the $60 fee, like we paid that and it posted, do we just wait for a link for the RSVP for graduation, or do we just come August 12th at 5?
No. You will need to RSVP to come to the August 12th
So,
graduation.
okay, because
It's
the
not
link.
open yet. It's not open yet.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
What'll happen, here, I'll post it again. You will want to bookmark the commencement website, and then continue to check it. Because you're going to find a ton of information. So, I mean, not even just about, participating in the commencement, but there's a ton of information on there. And so, oh, sorry, I keep doing this direct message. Okay. So yeah, so definitely bookmark this website, and then, keep checking back. So when you submit your application for degree, like Jasmine had said earlier, she will actually send the spreadsheet to me, and then I will start sending out communication to everybody who submitted their application for degree. So I'll have more information about, making sure you register to walk for commencement, making sure you don't forget to order your regalia, doing all of those types of things. So I will work directly off that spreadsheet. So that's why it's imperative that you submit your application for degree, because you will not get any communication if you do not do that. So yeah, so just kind of be on the lookout. But like I said, I will be out for probably the rest of this month. So I probably won't start sending information until like early July. So make sure you have it marked on your calendar that you need to order your regalia by June 30th. Okay.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So outside the general information, do we refer back for graduation to our individual schools for meetups, link ups, or any post or pre events for graduation?
Yeah. So like if your school or your program is doing a specific like reception or anything like that, then you would get, you'd probably get information like that from them. I don't know what every individual program or school is going to do. I know there's quite a few that do offer like receptions, or they do specific like special things for their graduates. So reach out to your program, see if they've got anything going on. As far as the commencement ceremony itself, that's where I'll provide all the information for that. But as far as anything before or after, that's going to be your individual school.
Okay, so UAB as a university doesn't do anything other than just the walk on the program, and obviously pictures most likely, which will be information will follow.
Yeah, so they did, well, they do and they don't. So they did something in the spring. It was the first time they did something like this, and I can't remember what it was called, but there was, I think, the week leading up to commencement, they had a bunch of different activities and things going on. And so like they even had, gosh, what was it? There was like some sweet treat thing. So like as you were actually walking into Bartow, they had some tables set up outside, and they were like handing out, I don't know if they were donuts or what they were, but there's like some kind of sweet treat goodie thingy. And so I don't know if that's something that they're planning on doing in the summer as well. But again, if they are, that's also something that I will communicate if there's anything like that that's going on at like the overall university level. That's something I'll communicate through email to everybody that's submitted the AFD as well. So I'll send you that. But other than that, there's not anything else that I'm aware of. Jasmine, do you know of anything? And then out-of-state regalia. So the regalia for PhDs, DNPs, any doctoral students, if you're renting it, it will be shipped to the bookstore. So you can pick it up anytime after August 5th. So you'll probably need to come in if you're coming from out of state. You should be able to pick it up like the day of. So you can just come in and get it, like swing by the bookstore. You might want to touch base with them to make sure. But yeah, you should be able to pick it up anytime after August 5th. Any other questions?
How long does the program last? That Friday night at 6.
That is the question that we all wish we knew the answer to. Honestly, I have no idea. So I usually tell people anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. And I know that's a really big amount, but I really can't tell you now because I don't even have an idea how many people are going to be participating. So I could probably give you a better estimate, like as we get a little bit closer to commencement. So then we can actually see how many people have registered to attend. I know the summer tends to be a larger time because we have a lot of MSN graduates. And so there's a lot of nursing graduates in the summer. And so, but MSN, again, master's students, those are fairly quick. It goes fast. So even if it is like 2.5 hours, it goes fairly quickly. But if you have like young children or older family members that have a hard time sitting, you might want to let them know it'll probably be anywhere between like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And like I said, I will also include that too, like in one of the last emails, I will kind of give everybody an idea what to expect in terms of timing, because we'll have a better idea of how many students might actually show up. So okay, how I'm saying for Regalia to be shipped out. I have no idea. Hold on just a second. Okay, and I really don't know how long it takes the Regalia to be shipped out. I know the deadline is June 30th, so I'm fairly certain that they will probably start sending them out after that. Any other questions?
So a question about if we want custom regalia, but we're not sure if we need it now, if we're not quite sure we want to do academia, can you get it at a later time, or is it only when you're graduating?
Oh, I don't know. I would assume, hold on, who's asking me that?
Eleanor Crane.
Okay, Eleanor, if you post your, or send me an email.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post my email address in the chat again. Send me an email and I'll follow up. I'm assuming you could probably order it later, but you might have to order it during the commencement window, because I don't know if you can order Regalia anytime during the year. You might have to only be able to order it while we're like during this time, like when they're actually ordering it for commencement. So yeah, just send me a quick email. Let me see if I can find out.
Okay, thank you.
I have a quick question. I'm actually graduating with my master's in healthcare quality and safety, and I went to the Regalia to like go ahead and order while we were talking, and I don't see my master's degree listed, and I know it's under School of Health Professions.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, which one is your degree?
Healthcare and quality and safety.
Okay. Yeah, send me an email so I can follow up.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Hey, Jasmine, do you see the?
Yeah, for AFD fees, I'm not sure the turnaround. It's immediate on my end, but again, I have different access here. They may post that after the ad drop date for the 10-week session. I'm not really sure, but again, at any rate, please just make sure that you do check your account throughout this, the rest of June and July or whatever for that posted charge. Trust me, it's gonna get there. It's a one-time fee. It's only posted when you're graduating, when you apply.
So regalias are for rent?
Yes, Abby, you rent your Regalia. Are you masters or PhD?
Masters.
Okay. Yes, you'll rent your Regalia.
Okay. And then I'm one of the ones that I applied like a month ago and my fee is not on my BlazerNet. I did email One Stop and I'm waiting for them to reply. Do you know if there's a certain day that it posts to your BlazerNet?
I just answered that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Again, just make sure that you're checking your account for that. My thought, they may post it after ad drop ends. But I'm not sure of that accounting piece as far as when it'll post to your account. So again, just keep a watch out for that. I'm not sure, is it BOYIGUO1? I'm assuming that's your Blazer ID. If you applied, you said it was charged twice, but please shoot me an email and I will look you up. It shouldn't have been charged twice though.
Thank you very much.
And I don't know if you have my email. Let me just put it back in here again.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, I hope this was helpful. We are, like I said, we're going to do a couple more of these as we get a little closer to commencement. You'll be receiving lots of communication from me, so much that you'll probably get really upset and never want to talk to me again, but that's okay. I'd rather over communicate than not communicate enough. So, and then feel free if you have questions just in between, feel free to email me. And yeah, very, very happy for all of you and congratulations. And hopefully it's going to be an amazing commencement ceremony. So yay. But yeah, we're here to help in however way we can. Okay.
Thank you all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.